Do you guys have any internship opportunities as well?
This past week, we worked with Austin Independent School District. We had an intern working for us, which was great. He went to Crockett High School. His first visit, we took him out. We show him all aspects of how JE Dunn, from marketing, business development, to estimating, pre-con, to construction, project engineer, superintendent, safety, quality. His first walk was with our safety manager, and he walks over our projects. And this young kid just got enamored with safety. He's like, I never knew you can become a safety professional. And then hearing our safety manager tell him his story, how he got into it, because his father was in safety. I mean, this young gentleman's eyes just like lit up. It was really cute and sweet. He had his end of summer presentation. This kid's mom and dad came in and were so proud of him. And like, they wanted pictures of him with everybody. And
that's great.
And I said, Diego, I better see you here in 3 years, your first summer out of college, if you're studying, safety at Texas State, because you better be working for us.
This episode is brought to you by Texas Mutual Insurance Company, the state's leading provider of workers' compensation insurance. Since 1991, Texas Mutual has been helping employers prevent workplace accidents. To learn more about how Texas Mutual provides a competitively priced source of workers' comp insurance for Texas employers, visit www.texasmutual.com.
Hey, thanks for joining us today on the Austin Hires Local podcast. My name is Sarah Garza, and I am the Director of Mobility Industry Partnerships at Workforce Solutions Capital Area. And I am here with Jason Beiter. Jason is the Vice President and Director of Construction Operations at JE Dunn. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Glad to be here this morning. We're here to talk today because we have $25 billion of infrastructure money coming into the Austin and greater Austin area. And JE Dunn is really sitting in the middle of that, with work going on at the convention center, work going on at the airport, a lot of public work really, but also a lot of vertical construction, particularly in the Rainey Street district. And they have a long-standing presence in Austin and the greater Central Texas area. So what I'm hoping we get into today is talking about JE Dunn's role in the Austin Infrastructure Academy, as well as y'all's approach to workforce development and strategy, and how you guys are approaching and tackling all these various projects in the Austin and greater Austin area. And then also y'all's role in safety and how y'all approach safety on your job sites, and really, how safety is a mindset, and just getting into that a little bit. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it. So first question out of the gate, what was your very first job?
What was my very first job? Well, there's a story behind that. I think I was a sophomore in high school, just got my driver's license. I got into a little fender bender, came home, told my dad, and he's like, get back in that car, go get a job because you're paying for it. So there's a Bennigan's down the street in my neighborhood. So my first job was a busboy for about 6 months to pay for the car damage.
Wow.
But I always tell my kids working in the restaurant industry is a great industry, because I could continue that through high school and college.
Yeah, absolutely.
To work for tips, because it forces you how to interact with people, and it teaches you social skills. So yeah, I've made all my kids growing up work in the restaurant industry, because it teaches a good skill of, how to communicate with people and go a little bit above and beyond to try and earn a better tip. So, I mean, it was an unfortunate circumstance, but once again, I appreciate my father being disciplined and making me pay for something I caused. So
I learned a few different lessons there, right? Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. I guess let's get into it. Who is JE Dunn? What do you guys do? What are some of the projects y'all are working on in the Austin area?
So JE Dunn, from a big perspective, we're constantly one of the top 15 largest general contractors in the United States. We have regional offices all across the United States. I think we have 17 active offices with 3 national vertical markets, advanced industry, mission critical, and healthcare. We have a strong presence here in South Central region, which is Oklahoma, Dallas, Houston, and Austin. We've been in Texas for over 30 years. I think we've been in Austin almost over 20 years. And we've consistently been in the top 5 largest general contractors in Austin. We're very fortunate. We have a very diverse portfolio of work product from, big, large healthcare projects here with the Del Seton Children's Hospital to major government projects with the TFC, Texas Facility Commission, the public sector. We did parts of the first Capitol Complex Phase 1. And
wow.
Capitol Complex Phase 2, which is over $500 million. We were great partners with the city of Austin. We did their first design build projects, which were 5 fire EMS stations for the citizens of Austin. We don't work out the airport. And then, like I said, just having that diverse portfolio from, at that point in time, one of the tallest towers in Austin with 6 in Guadalupe. Mm-hmm. And then since the developer market kind of slowed down with the interest rates kind of up in the air, so it's not as easy to fund projects, the public sector has really boomed. And so, the city of Austin has been in a really good position as far as the construction industry. Like I said, TSC is a constant builder with several projects going on. The city of Austin with the convention center, who we partner with Turner on, it's a $1.3 billion project for the city. And then the airport has a $3 billion program. So there's a lot of large opportunities out there, and we're fortunate to have a part of each of those projects.
What are y'all doing out at the airport? At
the airport, we will be doing the central utility plant that will feed the new terminal. The new south terminal is going to happen. So, it's the lifeblood that provides all the cooling for the new terminal. And then you got the new drop-off point that's going to be, the arrivals and departure hall. Mm-hmm. And then the new terminal. So there's a lot of projects going on at the airport. So what I appreciate about the airport taking on this endeavor is they're very conscious, knowing that, that's the front door of visitors coming to Austin with South by Southwest, ACL Music Festival and all the other great activities that draws visitors to Austin. Is they're really being proactive in how can we continue the communication. So when visitors come here, like, how do I get from the airport to downtown to their destination where they're going? So really working with communication teams, using phone apps that everybody has to help visitors when they land and navigate how to get there. And then especially with us doing the convention center, even though the convention center is going to go dark for 4 years, they're taking a campus approach where they're going to leverage multiple hotels in the downtown area that have large ballroom spaces. So still make South by the experience it was without that central hub. So when visitors come here, we want to make sure when they come downtown, they still have a very positive experience because, the Rainy Street District's just been blowing up with the high-rise multifamily. We got 2 projects wrapping up down there, and then the waterline projects will be wrapping up here probably within a year. So, just that whole Rainy District has really gone bonkers. We've been fortunately so that's been another strong market for us is that high-rise multifamily, either on West Campus for the university on privatized student housing and taking advantage of the Rainy Street District growth that's been happening.
Sounds like you'll have a really diverse portfolio. When it comes to workforce development and these projects, what role do you play in kind of getting them off the ground? And what are some things top of mind for you when you guys kind of start working on these projects?
Once again, just availability of the craft and the trades and the right trade partners. Each one's a different perspective. For the convention center, for instance, there are some large packages for, structural steel, mechanical, electrical scopes. So we're very blessed to be in Austin that we have some very strong electrical, mechanical, plumbing trade partners who have offices here, but they also have a regional or national footprint. So they can draw upon some of those resources to bring the craft to here. But part of our discussion this morning is the whole
Austin Infrastructure
Academy. Sorry, my caffeine hasn't kicked in yet this morning.
No, it's okay.
I kudos to our mayor for having the vision and seeing the pipeline of construction projects coming down. But it's just not craft needed for the construction. Once these projects are built, you got to maintain them, you got to operate them. So there's a tremendous growth opportunity for long-term employment with good paying jobs, career paying jobs. So the mayor, working with Workforce Solutions and industry to develop the Infrastructure Academy is like, hey, let's get ahead of this curve. Let's provide a conduit that allows people who are already in the workforce who wants to change their careers, like how do I get in? How do I become an electrician? What are the training certifications requirements needed? There's nothing really out there. There's not the roadmap. So working with industry, with Workforce Solutions and the Infrastructure Academy is going to provide that roadmap and conduit to allow people looking to create new careers or switch careers to find a job that's a good paying job, that's a long sustainable job, and they can, live here locally, because that's the other big push that the mayor's vision was behind it. He wanted to create jobs for Austinites so they can live in Austin and afford to live in Austin and have good careers. And the other component about it, what I really like, it's kind of twofold. They're threefold. I mean, we have an aging population. So when you look at some of our skilled trades, to be a mason, I mean, that's a dying breed. So to get people interested in becoming a mason, I mean, it's more of an art than just pure labor. Mm-hmm. And then you just get into the female demographics involved in construction. There's a lot of opportunities for women to get involved with that, but part of that challenge is providing, I don't know what percentage of our population of women have children, but they also want to be good moms, but they also want to provide a living. So how can we find a solution to provide daycare for that percentage of the population who wants to get into the working world, so they can provide good daycare facilities for their children and then go off and have a, productive job working in the trades, long-term and short-term. So we got to find a solution. And the other piece that was missing was the get into the high school, the student population. I mean, I look at my father and my uncles when they came up through high school. Their high schools all had shops and wood shops, and my father was the only one out of a family of 6 that went off to college. All my uncles went into the trades, and they had very good careers working in the trades. But our society's kind of pushed that philosophy of getting into the trades, working with their hands. But we're seeing a resurgence of that with multiple local ISDs creating opportunities for students to get exposure to that. So, but it takes getting into the middle school and high school levels to really understand what opportunities are out there and how they can, get a job as a plumber and make a long-term career out of it. And working with industries and the Austin Infrastructure Academy and Austin Community College to provide these learning educations for these students to see that path and get into it.
Why did JE Dunn choose to get involved in this initiative?
No, that's a great question. As I stated, Austin's been a very strong economy. I've been in Austin since 2010, and it's just coming out of the tail end of the 2008, 2009 recession and just seeing how it has boomed for the better. There's been a very steady growth of diverse construction projects out there. We've seen a lot of trade partners move to our region, so there's a lot of opportunity. However, if you look on the horizon, between the convention center, the airport work, the I-35 project, Project Connect, there are a lot of major public infrastructure projects on the horizon that's going to take a tremendous amount of craft resources. So we want to get involved. We have a strong craft force, focuses mostly on concrete and carpentry. But once again, 80 to 90% of the work that we build is subcontract out. So we got to be concerned for our trade partners. Where are they getting their craft from? So we wanted to get involved to help, not just grow our forces, but make sure our trade partners have the talent available when they need it. Like I said, we're fortunate. There's a lot of large national trade partners who have offices here, so they can leverage people from other areas to draw in. Mm-hmm. That kind of goes against what the Infrastructure Academy wants. We want to grow organically. We want to create jobs for the citizens of Austin, that they can live here, work here, and get a good living, and they're not commuting from, an hour away, hour south, hour north, wherever that may be. But we want to get involved, like I say, because if we don't do something about it, we're going to be, surprised. Fortunately, with the way the city works, we create tremendous amount of interests in working with their SMBR group in the state with their hub folks. So when we put out a large package for trade partners, we make a conscious effort to break out smaller parts and pieces. So smaller trades can be sub-tiers to the large trades, so they can help grow their businesses. And so it's just not one trade partner managing this multiple scopes. They might have, 1 to 5 sub-tier trade partners underneath of them that they're outsourcing parts and pieces of the scopes to us. So we really encourage our trade partners to try and develop scopes to allow smaller businesses to get a piece of the pie. Because the more we can allow them to grow, they're tapping into their resources. We're just casting a wider net to really draw in the craft that's available and necessary to build it. The other key challenge that's on the horizon and where the Infrastructure Academy can help to get ahead of the curve is just within the state of Texas. Texas is in the limelight just because the energy availability. I mean, Texas is becoming a hub for data center work. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of data center projects currently going on and on the books for Texas. And the reason I state that, same thing, these are $1 billion type projects. And those are heavily mechanical, electrical trade partners. So we got to be very cognizant. An electrician can go work on a data center job remotely and get paid significantly more. So we got to be cautious of that. So we're not losing that talent for these one-off projects. These are 2-3 year projects. So there's opportunity for, electrician to go out of town and work 3 years and make really good money. So, there's the managing the growth here in Austin, but also keeping an eye on all the peripheral work with the big data center projects that are coming to Austin. We got to find that balance and not lose our talent to those projects.
Absolutely. So I guess when it comes to what success looks like, and you've already touched on it a little bit, growing local talent, what else would success look like to you for the Austin Infrastructure Academy? Success would be
developing the Infrastructure Academy and being a roadmap for other growing cities within the country. We're on the forefront of developing a program that's going to allow working individuals to find a new career, to find kids graduate from high schools, find a path to get a good job. And like I said before, is drop that stigma that, it's taboo to work in the craft. Construction work is hard work, but you can really make a good living and develop a skill that's going to be valuable for life. And, you can be an apprentice, then a foreman, and then a superintendent overseeing multiple projects. So there's a tremendous amount of opportunity for young folks to get involved and new people to get involved in the trades and really see a career path. So, it's just like I said, success would be developing that roadmap that works, that then we can help educate other growing cities to help, their same challenges and really get more people back into the trades.
This episode is brought to you by Texas Mutual Insurance Company, the state's leading provider of workers' compensation insurance. Since 1991, Texas Mutual has been helping employers prevent workplace accidents. To learn more about how Texas Mutual provides a competitively priced source of workers' comp insurance for Texas employers, visit www.texasmutual.com.
Absolutely. And you mentioned youth. What does JE Dunn do to kind of help with that pipeline and get young people interested?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's another program that I forgot to mention. Austin Independent School District, is in the midst of their $2 billion bond. They got a lot of projects going out there. So we're fortunate. We're building the Travis High School, Early College High School. And we did the Bowie High School in the last bond election. And the way we took advantage of that program, those are 4-year projects. So we have this Build, Learn, Advance program where we work with the locals, with the school. They usually have some kind of developmental group within the high school. And we bring kids onto our job site during the course of construction. We'll tell them what it means to be an estimator, what it means to be a project engineer. We'll have the architect come in and talk about what it means to be an architect. But we also will bring in the electrical foreman. He'll tell his story, his journey of how he was when he graduated from high school to how he got to the position where he's a journeyman electrician, running a crews now. And then we'll go out there and walk the project for them, see what that individual does to get them excited, to have somebody relate their story was like, I was in your seat. College was not for me, but I wanted to become an electrician. How do I do that? So hearing an individual tell their story to some, young high school student who has aspirations like college isn't really for me, but what else is out there to just at least give them the exposure and tell that story. And then, hey, you want to get involved? Here, go talk to somebody at the Austin Infrastructure Academy. They can set you up with somebody. Or more importantly, like a lot of these major trade partners have training programs internally because they want to train their people from safety and quality and how to do things right. So they love bringing that young talent in because they get to mold them in their culture and make them the productive worker that fits their culture and their means. So it's a huge opportunity.
Absolutely. So sounds like you do job site visits for those students. Do you guys have any internship opportunities as well?
Yeah, we have internships. So at the college levels, like this year, we had 14 interns working for us this summer with multiple colleges around the state of Texas and throughout the country. This past week, we worked with Austin Independent School District. We had an intern working for us, which was great. He went to Crockett High School. His first visit, we took him out. We show him all aspects of how JE Dunn, from marketing, business development, to estimating, pre-con, to construction, project engineer, superintendent, safety, quality. His first walk was with our safety manager, and he walked several of our projects. And this young kid just got enamored with safety. He was like, I never knew you can become a safety professional. And then hearing our safety manager tell him his story, how he got into it, because his father was in safety. I mean, this young gentleman's eyes just like lit up. It was really cute and sweet. He had his end of summer presentation where he presented what he learned at JE Dunn. So we made him get up in front of a group of people, presentation skills, but he talked about how he gravitated towards safety. And what was great about it is we had our local safety director. We had our national safety director come in for it. This kid's mom and dad came in and were so proud of him. And like, they wanted pictures of him with everybody. And
that's great.
And I said, Diego, I better see you here in 3 years, your first summer out of college, if you're studying, safety at Texas State, because you better be working for us. So, I mean, here's this kid had no idea what he was walking into. And it's like, there's a light bulb went out, and like, I can make a career in, like you said, you spend a day talking to our safety manager, our national safety director. I mean, you just fall in love with these guys because they're so passionate about what they're doing, because they want to make sure everybody shows up on their job, goes home the same way they showed up, because they're providing for their families, and it's that personal connection. So
absolutely.
So that's just something we do above and beyond as well. So
that's a great story. Well, I'm sure Jason, or you've probably heard the statistic before, that OSHA indicates that 25% of job site accidents happen due to language barriers. And Workforce Solutions has engaged in a grant with Texas Mutual, and I'm happy that JE Dunn is a partner with us in that work, where you have a few of your folks engaging with our program to learn Spanish, to help become bilingual so that they can take that to the job sites and improve communication with their teams. So can you talk a little bit about JE Dunn's role in this program and kind of safety as a mindset, and how safety can improve, how language learning and integrating that into safety training can help improve communication on job sites?
No, that's a great question. I mean, it is just the fact of the matter is the majority of our craft here in Austin are Hispanic, and there is a language barrier. We have, I think, a dozen safety professionals work for us out of this office, and they're all bilingual. So that's paramount. That's very amazing. Important. All our safety programs are in English and in Spanish. So safety is a mindset. And before we start every project, we bring in the ownership of all our trade partners and have a safety expectation reset. So we have them present what is their company's safety culture, and then we talk about what our safety culture is and what our expectations are regarding safety. It's paramount's number one. So we create this safety culture alignment from the get-go at the leadership ownership level, and it trickles down to the project level. And then our project teams, from our lead superintendents to our PMs to our lead safety managers, really from day one, we bring everybody through orientation. We work a lot with the Austin Safety Council. Oh, great. So
they're a partner in the grant.
Instead of people coming through our program, our office every day, we send them through orientation. We develop a safety orientation per project, and we have the Austin Safety Council implement that, and they do a great job in English and in Spanish. And then we also do use a program called Smart Tag It. So it's with the foreman, gets with his crews every morning and talks about, hey, what are you doing today? And it's videotaped and it's transcribed, and it can be transcribed in English or in Spanish. So it's very well documented. So the foreman can do it all in Spanish, and we can have it converted to English to make sure they're talking about the key points. And what's great about it, there's a lot of data behind the scenes. So we can actually evaluate each foreman's safety huddle every morning and make sure they're talking about the key points and understand the dialogue happening between his crew, and they're grasping it. Because once again, safety is a mindset. So this program is beneficial. We've had a lot of our superintendents want to sign up for it because the more they can converse with an individual, the better off. But like I said, we have a lot of our safety managers are bilingual. They've asked, hey, I want to improve my English because there's still some English population out there. So it's kind of neat how my mindset was going to take it to learn Spanish, and a few of our safety managers are like, no, I want to improve my English because, there's some English speaking folks out here on our work sites. So,
well, it's an opportunity for an individual to, improve their situation and, see as an upskilling themselves so that they have opportunity for those leadership roles as well, if they aren't already in them. But happy to have you guys a part of it. I guess just to kind of close this out, and this might be a heavy question to close this out, but when it comes to workforce strategy, you've touched on this a little bit throughout, and just curious, what more do y'all do kind of with your trade partners to help address workforce issues that might come up? And how could you see partnering with us at Workforce Solutions and through the Austin Infrastructure Academy to help improve those outcomes for you and your teams?
That is a good question. Like I said, when we're buying out a project and we're interviewing the top 2-3 trade partners for that scope of work, we talk about workforce availability. We walk them through the schedule. We talk through their peak man hours on the project and really understand their strategy on how they're going to maintain or achieve that workforce capability. So I think there's a huge opportunity if a trade partner understanding the peak of manpower needed for their project at a point in time, and they come forward and says, hey, we're struggling. Once again, I'm going to go back to electricians because those skilled trades are hard to come by. Hey, we just lost, 2 crews to a big data center job, in North Texas. We're struggling. We're going to take advantage of, all services, the Infrastructure Academy, and said, hey, let's partner with them, and they can go out and once again, because it's going to take a team effort. It's going to take everybody working together to solve this potential problem coming down the pipeline. Right. It's a solution. There's going to be a challenge, but we got to get ahead of that curve earlier than later to really address it head on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think with the Austin Infrastructure Academy, given we're working with so many different training providers, we can really help assist you and your trade partners to make those connections to folks coming out of these programs, and ensure that you guys have that available talent, to deliver on these projects. Because, you mentioned a lot of the work y'all are doing is public work. And, I see these projects as promises we've made to the community, right? Delivering a new convention center, delivering that utility plant at the airport. These are vital and critical projects that assist folks, in ways they don't even understand, because it's just part of the daily, the infrastructure needed to build communities. So appreciate you and your time and joining us on this podcast.
Yes, glad to be here.
Thanks for listening to Austin Hires Local, powered by Workforce Solutions Capital Area. To learn more about what you heard today, or to see what Workforce Solutions Capital Area can do for you, visit wfscapitalarea.com. To stay updated on new episodes, subscribe to Austin Hires Local on your podcast app of choice. Until next time.